Hello everyone, my name is Blake Singleton and I am the former president and vice president of the College of Charleston Gay Straight Alliance. I was actually approached by several people to record my coming out story for you so that you could listen to it. And here it is. This story actually takes place the summer between my junior and senior year of high school. I actually worked at Banana Republic, and one day while I was working, my parents called me, which is weird because they never called me. So I asked my boss if I could go outside and take a smoke break and call them back, and my boss told me yes. So I went outside and I called my parents' cell phone back, and my father answered, and he was like, "Son, we actually need to have a heart-to-heart whenever you get home." And this was such a weird statement for my father to make. It was really random. I thought my grandmother might have passed away because she was having some health issues at the time. And I asked him, I was like, "What's wrong?" "No, I really want to know what's wrong." And my dad point blank asked me, "Are you gay?" At that moment, my heart stopped. I had trouble breathing, and I couldn't answer him. I responded. The only thing that could come out my mouth was, "I don't want to talk about this right now. I'll call you back." So I hung up the phone and actually went back inside to my work, where I cried the next 6 hours of my life away. This was the moment that I dreaded the most in my life. My parents were deeply Southern Baptist, as I was raised, and I knew what was going to happen. I knew what they were going to say. So I actually was sent in the back and cried the rest of my shift away. Before I left, though, my bosses actually all came up to me and gave me their phone numbers and were like, "If you get kicked out or if you need anything, let us know. Call us." So I got in my car, and that was the worst and longest drive I have ever been on. I cried most of the way. I actually called one of my good friends at the time's mom, who he'd come out to, and she said, "If your parents truly love you, they'll accept you for who you are." Well, I also, on the way home, stopped by my best friend's house and told him what my parents had said, and he wished me good luck and gave me a hug. When I pulled up into a driveway, I noticed that my parents' car wasn't there. I knew at that moment they must actually be at my youth leader's house, probably playing a card game. I, at this moment, look like hell because I've been crying for hours and hours. I actually go into the bathroom and take a shower. While in the shower, I actually hear the back door shut. And I knew this was the moment that I had dreaded my whole life. This was the moment where I was going to tell them who I was. Who I, Leonard Blake Singleton, was. I got out of the shower and I actually went across the hall to my room and shut the door and got dressed. I went out of my room, down the hallway to the living room where my sister was talking to my dad. And my dad turns to my sister and goes, "Go in your room and lock your door. Don't come out or answer it unless I come and get you." My sister, being young, walks past me, goes to her room, and I hear the door shut. My father asked me to sit in the recliner, and I do. At that moment, the question came out, "Are you gay?" And I looked him in the eyes and I actually said, "Yes, I am gay." For that moment, I felt free. I was no longer under the constraints of the closet. I was no longer subjugated to it. And then my father did something I'll never forget. He spat in my face and called me a fucking cocksucker and started calling me every name in the book you could possibly ever imagine. My mother, at this point, is sitting on the couch, crying over a picture of me, saying she has no son. At this point, I am crying. The place where my father had spit in my face burned like acid. And it affected me in a way I can't even describe in words. My father reached up and grabbed a gold chain with a cross on it, ripped it off my neck and threw it across the room and told me I couldn't be a Christian and a faggot. He then proceeded to walk over to the closet, got a suitcase and threw it at me as hard as he could, saying if I was going to choose this damn lifestyle, then I needed to get the hell out of his house. At this point, I'm crying to the point where I can't even talk. The words just get caught in my throat. And then I did one of the things that I will regret my whole life. I went back into the closet. I told them maybe it was a phase, that I was confused. It was the easy way out. At that moment, I went back to my room and I cried the next 2 years of my life away, trying to figure out who I was, how I could be gay and Christian. And in the end, I came to find myself, to find God, and to find friends. Thank you.